It is Saturday, June 3rd, 2017. Yesterday I sent out an email saying that GDXJ was on Avalanche watch, and if you've seen that video, then you know these two charts. We have GLD here, gold, on the left, junior gold miners, GDXJ on the right. Gold wants to go higher, miners want to go lower. If you watch the video, you also know the similarities in price action that we are seeing currently. Gold going vertical while miners underperform is very reminiscent the price action that we saw at the mid of April. Gold going vertical, miners cannot take out this range, and then the sell-off started. And again, end of February, gold goes vertical and miners cannot take out the range, and then kung pow, the avalanche of selling kicks in. So what I want to do now is I want to prepare us mentally for the potential sell-off to come, and I want to watch for clues that in price action that could alarm us that we are about to see that shift in price action. So I want to zoom in here. How did the market behave this day, February 24th? That was the second day of a vertical price action in gold. I want to see how did gold and how did gold miners react that day, and then I also want to check out what happened the second day. We saw the spike here in gold, and maybe we can find clues that prepare us for Monday, Tuesday, when I think the same could happen again. And there's this awesome tool here on Thinkorswim where we can go back in time and replay the price action of a particular day. And I want to go back to February the 24th. That is day 2 of the spike in gold, and I want to go right to the open and look for clues that we can use for next week. Alright, so this is a minute before the close and before the open. So gold gaps up. This gray area is pre-market. Gaps up by about $10, and then comes back by 3 or like $2-3 pre-market. And the interesting part is that GDXJ cannot really take out the highs of the previous day, although we are still $7, $8 higher than the previous day. And that relative weakness, that's why I keep on bringing it up, is really a good indicator of future price action. And we can actually speed up the price action here by a factor of 3, and maybe then it's not too painful to watch. So what I would love to see, this is one of the scenarios: a gap up in gold on Monday, relative weakness in GDXJ, and then we want to watch how the two behave relative to each other. And here we see right at the open there's weakness. There is a lot of sellers coming in GDXJ already, and it only progresses over the course of the day. We are right now 2 minutes in, and there is already big time sellers coming in. And I'm going to zoom forward here by 5 minutes. This button gets us 5 minutes forward, and to show you the weakness that we saw then within the first 10 minutes of trading or 15 minutes of trading. And then I want to make another jump an hour before the close, which was back then 10 o'clock, because we don't change the time here in Hawaii. So in the winter we are 5 hours behind New York, and in the summer it's 6. And this is where it gets interesting. We saw gold weakness at the open, yeah, but since then gold recovered most of the loss from relative to the pre-market session. But look what happened to GDXJ. It totally ignored this recovery in gold and makes new lows, right? Extreme relative weakness. And it gets really interesting if we then check out what happens the following Monday. So that's the 27th. Gold actually makes a new high relative to the previous day, but then a couple of hours into trading, it rolls over, and look what happened to GDXJ. It goes from 40.60 down to 36. And if we zoom out here a little bit, we can compare the damage in gold versus the damage in GDXJ. I mean, it's not even close. Gold is not even back to the levels that it saw on Thursday, and GDXJ is just falling out of bed. Incredible, the price action. So what do we take from this? So it was the gap up in gold, GDXJ ignoring it, and then relative weakness in miners that was preceding this massive sell-off. That is one scenario. The second scenario that I want to go through is what happened in April. And April 11th was the first day that we saw the spike in gold. Then we saw another one on the 12th. And on the 13th, gold was just hanging out. It wasn't doing anything specific, right? It was just hanging at the highs. But miners are already rolling over. So let's check what then happens the following week. The 14th was a holiday. Then we have a Monday and Tuesday. Let's go to check out Tuesday and see what happened there. Gold is still hanging in there. It's not really doing much. But miners continue to show weakness. This is Monday. This is Tuesday. Hovering at the lows while gold is at the highs. Still, same picture. Gold behaving well, miners not so much. So let's broaden the view here a little bit and go to the 15-minute chart. And then we just make a jump here. We go a week further. Right, 122.82 is where we are in gold. 35.87 in GDXJ. Let's go to Tuesday, the following week. Here is where we were the week prior. Gold loses some 26 bucks, and look what happened to junior gold miners. From the 35.87 or whatever the price was, right? We lose $3.50 bucks. So what do we learn from this? It is not that important what gold does. Gold is clearly telling a totally different story than miners. It is how miners perform relative to gold. And if we zoom out here, and I get out of this on-demand mode because it slows down everything, and look here at the bigger picture, the moves that followed the reversal in gold were massive. I mean, what is this from here to here? What's that, some 21, 22%? And the same here, right? That's 22%. If we see a 22% move from here, that takes us down to 25. And the story in GDX is almost identical. I mean, junior miners, yes, they are even weaker. But the moves that occurred once gold rolled over from here to here, that is also, what is that, 16%? And from here to here, that's also 16%. So there is significant downside in both junior miners and in their big brothers. And I just want us to look for the signs, and once we get the confirmation that we don't freak out, because I know there will be the urge, oh, we need to take profits. I want to take profits too, but I want to take profits on extreme weakness, and then I want to get back in on a bounce. So we are going to manage the position properly, and if we see some 4, 5, 6, 7% drop in GDXJ at the end of a trading day, we will take profits, and then we just hope that the next day we see a bounce. And if we do get one, we take another shot at it, because it took multiple days for the entire story, for the Avalanche to actually roll down the hill. So I think there's tremendous opportunity there, and I'm prepared to take advantage of it. There's even more to it, but I've been yapping already for 10 minutes, so I need to wrap it up here. But even gold is not acting that well if we put it relative to the dollar, relative to TLT, which both made new extremes for the year. Dollar makes new lows, yields make new lows, TLT new highs, and dollar cannot and gold cannot take out the highs that we put in April. I mean, everything what the market is trying to tell us is screaming that there is another avalanche to come. I want us to be prepared, and hopefully we need to get off the slopes and take advantage of it. And that is how I'm going to end this rampage here today. I'll be back on Monday with another recap.